Long ago, in an age where every brand needed a video game, the History Channel ventured into the lucrative world of first-person shooters. Activision secured the rights, handed the project off to the Slovakian developer Cauldron, and tasked them with turning American history into epic first-person shooting action. 3 times! And 20 years later, an idiot with a YouTube channel dug up those games. That idiot is me, and these are the History Channel's first-person shooters. Gettysburg! Oh! Buckle up. History Channel's Civil War: A Nation Divided is quite the curious game. When this released, first-person shooters were balls deep in World War II and had been for a while. So immediately, Civil War at least has the advantage of being something unique and having the opportunity to show players some fresh shit. And for better or worse, it did just that. Jesus Christ! The game is broken up into 2 campaigns, one for the North and one for the South, with 6 levels for each campaign. Each level has you playing as a different soldier and depicts a different battle, so it's more like a little Civil War sampler than an actual story with characters to follow. But don't worry, there's still plenty of goofy dialogue and awkward cutscenes to enjoy.
Don't forget me.
Because this is a History Channel game, we get a whole helping of historical tidbits both before and after levels, usually explaining the logistics of each battle and how their outcome affected the war. Forrest Gump's ancestor, General Nathan Bedford Forrest, gets mentioned at one point, and that made me way more excited than it should have.
And draw away Nathan Bedford Forrest from Mobile. Major
Nathan Bedford Forrest from Mobile.
That's how I got my name, Forrest Gump.
So the thing about making a game intended to be historically accurate set in the Civil War means you're obviously going to be limited to the weapons of the time. I don't know if y'all know this, but weapons from this era were kinda dog shit. Oh no, hey, time out. Time in. You won't be playing with any submachine guns, automatic rifles, or noob tubes here, fellas. Instead, you're stuck with muskets, revolvers, repeating rifles, cannons, and fucking swords. There's something special about shooting a single shot out of a musket and then watching a 7-second reload animation before shooting another single shot and repeating. But I gotta admit, it was actually really fun to use these old weapons. For like the first 30 minutes of the game. Yeah, the novelty wears off pretty quick, and seeing groups of enemies on the screen quickly begins to feel like staring down a sink full of dirty dishes, and all you've got to clean them is half of a dried up old sponge. But on the bright side, melee combat is effective and makes quick work of your enemies. Sometimes. I'm gonna give him a licking. I licked him. You can also carry a seemingly unlimited amount of weapons, so instead of waiting on reloads, you can just cycle through the arsenal and keep the lead flying. At one point I counted 8 different guns I was carrying, plus a knife. 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 guns! You're occasionally blessed with a Gatling gun turret section, and these are the few moments where you get a delicious taste of modern combat. The Gatling gun is sick. Looks cool, sounds cool, and it shreds.
Neato!
Now, I'm not sure if it's an intentional mechanic, but the weapon accuracy here is abysmal. See, look at that. That somehow missed him. In fact, calling it accuracy is almost too generous. Your weapons just straight up don't do any damage sometimes. It's like you're shooting blanks. Barrel stuffing the enemy is the best solution for this, but even then, there were still times where it just seemed like I was shooting these dudes with a Nerf gun. Maybe it's meant to simulate the weapons not being reliable or something like that? Or maybe it's just a bug. It's almost certainly just a bug. What? Speaking of technical problems, I'm sure you've noticed from the gameplay how much of a slideshow this boy is. Not only does it not look great, but it's just so poorly optimized. Lord have mercy, we're at like 20 frames a second. The game also doesn't feature any checkpoints, like at all. Sounds crazy, but instead you have the ability to manually save literally anywhere and as often as you want. In some ways that's actually better, especially for difficulty, but it's way worse in the way that you're always pausing to save, and it's also your responsibility to remember to save. Twice, I died at the very end of a level and had to completely restart because I didn't save. Bro, what? But I will say, despite its many shortcomings and technical flaws, this is certainly still playable and does have its moments. Oh! You've basically seen everything the game has to offer after like the first 2 levels, but I didn't mind finishing it. Only took a few hours to beat, so doesn't overstay its welcome either. Not a hidden gem or even good, but I appreciate it for having the balls to be something different and commit to its premise. Can't say the same for the next game on the list. So after Civil War, somebody, probably a suit at Activision, decided a World War II game should be next. One focused on the war in the Pacific, and 1 year later, the History Channel Battle for the Pacific dropped. Now let's take a look at this box art. Not too bad, right? Even looks like it might be kinda cool. And that's exactly what 11-year-old Casual Perspective thought as well. But guess what? I was wrong. Look at this. Look at that. This game is corn-encrusted shit. Oh, God. Oh. It's so bad, in fact, that even at 11 years old with my shiny new Xbox 360, I only played it once and never touched it again. I was autistically fixated on Iwo Jima at the time, and this game has a whole Iwo Jima section at the end. I was expecting a crazy Flags of Our Fathers style beach landing. Know what I got instead? I got this.
The fuck is this?
Before I continue to rant about how awful this is, let me first share what I actually liked about the game. This won't take long. The 360 graphics are okay for 2007, the weapon models look decent, they added checkpoints, and I like the flag raising cutscene at the end. That's it. That is it! Now for what I didn't like. Everything else.
Rescuing some damsels in distress, eh?
You wouldn't know what to do with one anyway. Both of you, can it? This is serious.
Oh my God. After you've played 5 minutes of the first level, you've basically played the entire game because it's just the same unfun bullshit for every level after that. You follow your sergeant through a trench or jungle corridor, group of Japanese soldiers approaches you, usually in a line, you shoot them out in the open, then move forward and do it again. That's the entire game. But if that didn't already suck enough, you also have to stay in range of your Sarge or you instantly fail the mission. Dude, I'm just trying to pick up a better gun. Come on, come on, come on. That's so crazy. That is so crazy. There's a couple of horrible turret sections, 2 moments where you awkwardly defuse mines, and some sections where you're attacking Japanese defenses and destroying their equipment, but that's seriously the only variety in the gameplay. This is all seasoned with terrible stock music and the same awful dialogue and sound effects repeated over and over and over.
Come with me!
Dude, the same fucking explosion sound. It also feels insanely bad to control. Civil War already didn't feel great, but Cauldron somehow managed to make the aiming and movement feel even worse here, and I felt it right away. Oh, this is floaty. Oh, the dead zones on this is crazy. Oh, it feels so bad. And here's what aiming down sights looks like. Look at this ADS, what is this? What? And the performance. Check it out. Oh man, the frame rate. Oh man. It's so bad, guys. Game only took an hour and a half to finish, which is another reason it's crap, but at least I only had to stomach 90 minutes of it. I wasn't expecting any of these games to be good, but I was hoping to at least have some fun with them. I did not have fun with this. It's boring, bland, lazy, repetitive, unoptimized, and worst of all, soulless. It's not the kind of bad you can still have fun with. It's the kind of bad that had me checking the clock and Googling how many levels I had left. And they charged $50 for this game when it released in 2007. $50 for 90 minutes of dry b***ing. In a weird twist, I found out that the PS2 and Wii versions of the game are entirely, and I mean entirely different and not developed by Cauldron. I fired up the PS2 version on my emulator and guess what? It's like way better. The gameplay was better, there's actual iron sight aiming, the AI were smarter, and there was this sick boat fight section like 15 minutes in. Don't get me wrong, this isn't a good game either, but from what I played, it was much better than the 360 version. Zoo-wee mama. Alright, let's take a break from talking about things that suck, and instead talk about something that doesn't suck. Today's sponsor, Misty Mountain Supply. Shopping for military surplus gear online can be about as miserable as playing through History Channel's Battle for the Pacific. But don't fret, because Misty Mountain Supply has got you covered. Their extensive inventory is full of genuine gear and tons of unique items from around the world. Clothing, bags, helmets, masks, medals, patches. Italian army soaps, whatever you need. Whether you're a collector, historian, outdoor enthusiast, or milsim player, Misty Mountain has something for you. And with fast international shipping to the US and Canada, you'll be wearing that Vietnamese army helmet you've always wanted in no time. Just be sure to use discount code CASUAL at checkout for 10% off your first order. MistyMountainSupply.com. Go check them out and grab yourself some cheese. Huge thanks to Misty Mountain Supply for sponsoring this video. Now, let's go check out one last game. So after the total misery that was Battle for the Pacific, I was not expecting much from our final game, Civil War Secret Missions. But to my pleasant surprise, this ended up being easily the best and most competent game of the bunch. Didn't see that coming. Oh! This is basically the same idea as the first game, good old wholesome Civil War action with you completing missions as both the Union and the Confederacy. But this time focused on smaller, more specialized operations, hence the name Secret Missions. Right away, basically all of my complaints with the first game have been addressed. Weird weapon inaccuracy and not damaging enemies thing seems to be entirely fixed. Performance is worlds better. You get access to repeating rifles immediately, and there's checkpoints! Lord hallelujah! And they didn't stop there. Here's the moment I realized they added sprint. Oh my god, there's sprint. Look at it's beautiful! The missions are also better this time around with more detailed environments and different kinds of combat encounters. It's far more immersive with noticeably better sound design and easily the best graphics of the three games. Feels like you're actually in a large-scale battle way more often. And goddamn, we've even got some good ragdoll physics to goof around with. There's a good one. I don't know, this is the first time in this video where it actually felt like I was playing a real game with some actual effort behind it. Had me scratching my head as to how this could be as good as it is with it releasing less than a year after that last piece of shit. Maybe a different team at Cauldron working on this one? Who knows? Sick. Now, it's easy to glaze this game when comparing it to the previous two, but how does it stack up as just being a game released in 2008? Not well. Yeah, still not a great game. Way better than the other two, but that wasn't a high bar. Unfortunately, this once again feels like hell to control with some insane dead zones and acceleration. God, the aiming is still dog shit. And because of that, even the simplest firefights turn into a sanity test. And sanity tests aren't fun. Nowhere is this more apparent than this train Gatling gun bit. This thing has the accuracy of a goddamn squirt gun. I could not aim this thing accurately, and I must have retried this part like 10 times.
Dude, this is so crazy!
And even with the added variety, the levels are still pretty boring and repetitive, and some of them are over in like 7 minutes. And when there's only 11 levels in the game, that ain't good. We also get more awkward voice acting and cutscenes, which have become a staple of these games at this point.
Let's go.
But my favorite bad thing is the footstep sound when you sprint. I don't know what went wrong here, but you sound like a little cockroach scurrying around. All right, what's the sprint sound like in here? I could go on about why it's bad, but honestly, if someone were to ask me, hey, Mr. Casual Perspective, what Civil War game should I play on my Xbox 360? I'd probably tell them to get hammered and then play this. It's a proper game, and I wouldn't be surprised if any of you have really fond memories playing it. In fact, if you love this game, drop a comment and tell us why. And if it's for any reason other than the cockroach feet, you might be a redneck. Yee-hoo! There it is, fellas. The History Channel's first-person shooters and their varying degrees of shittiness. I expected nothing less. Good thing they were short. And cheap. Shout out to the Patreon casuals on screen now. An extra special shout out to the producers, Anthony Hawkins, the Day One Goat, Sean, my abusive manager, Jakey Poo, aka Jake the Snake, and my special friend Grubba. Thank you guys for keeping the lights on and keeping Dorothy glowing in such finery. Thank you for watching. Links to Discord, one-on-one YouTube coaching, and Patreon are down in the description. And I'll see y'all next week when I put my steam machine in the washing machine. Later, nerds. Can't say the same for the next game on the list.